35 minutes past the hour. The Rick and Bubba Show during football season. One of the most anticipated segments on the program. Dr. Lou is here.
Dr. Lou. That's Dr. Lou. Dr. Lou. The doctor will see you now.
Big Doc, how you doing?
Guys, can you believe we are 4 weeks into the college football season? I feel like it was yesterday when I broke into a cold sweat and almost passed out in this chair because you guys almost dumped me when I began discussing my favorite game, Smear the Deer, which I love playing with Bambi and Rudolph.
Yes.
Right. Seriously, though, guys, this season has flown by almost as quickly as Sergeant Pepper's internship. Oh, good gracious, that guy's been here for 16 and a half centuries. And speaking of Pepper, how about the spicy week that we've had this week in the world of college football?
Well, spicy's the word.
All the talk has been about conference realignment, and to be dead honest, it's been more annoying than Mark May's Caucasian dialect. But for those of you who haven't been following this week's developments, let me take a second to catch you up.
Well, my goodness,
Well,
Dr.
good
Lou.
gracious.
Honestly, guys, that's not an exaggeration. It really has just been a lot of hot air this week as far as actual conference changes are concerned. Sure, Pittsburgh and Syracuse are now moving to the ACC.
Which one, Pittsburgh and who?
Pittsburgh and Syracuse.
Okay.
Pittsburgh and Syracuse moving to the ACC, but last time I checked, my name's not Dick Vitale, so I don't really give a rat's caboose team.
Oh, wow. A little basketball shot there.
Yeah.
That's right. Don't really care if it's not football. If it's not University of Notre Dame Bangers football. Guys,
I can take that over.
and speaking of conference realignment,
Yes.
I believe, this is my take, I believe there should be two conferences.
Okay.
You got Super Conference, and you got the Pooper Conference.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay?
wow.
You got Super Conference, which will have one team, the University of Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Right, okay. That's a super conference.
While the Pooper Conference will include the remaining 119 teams.
What about Skip's team? What conference is it in?
He'll unfortunately be in the Pooper Conference.
There's not room in that super conference for two teams?
Unfortunately, Super Conference is the University of Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
That's it.
That's it. In this system, the conference champion from both the Super and the Pooper will face off in what will be called the Super Pooper Bowl. The winner of that game will take home the trophy, which will be called the Scooper. No accolade will be more esteemed or prestigious than the Super Pooper Scooper. I was laughing myself as my real self, and I forgot to laugh as Dr. Luke because it was so funny.
It gets a little confusing, doesn't it?
Whenever you start talking about Super Pooper Scoopers, I mean that's good stuff. Okay. Seriously, though, guys, if some of this conference realignment takes place, we'll need to move Ohio State, Southern Cal, Oregon, and Miami to the SEC. The best way to keep your eyes on the cheaters is to put them with their own kind. Oh, I'm on fire this morning. Someone put me out.
Stop, drop, and roll, Dr. Lou.
And in the new world order in college football, there would be a new emphasis on helping your fellow man. ESPN can loan the necessary monies to save Italy, Greece, France, and any other lazy European countries that don't play real football.
Dr. Lou.
Thank you, Daddy, for that line. That was really good. That was Lou's daddy who wrote that.
Who's Lou's what?
Lou's daddy. Who's Lou's daddy? Burr Ingram. But enough about world issues. Let's talk football. Rick, you called it last week. The story Georgia Tech-Kansas rivalry did not disappoint.
It was Speedy's game to watch.
Did you hear that by chance?
Yes.
Were you here then?
Yes.
And boy, were you right about throwing out the record books when these two teams get together.
Well, you have to.
Kansas, Georgia Tech.
The Yellow Jackets set a school record with 768 yards of total offense. This is true, including an astonishing school record 604 yards on the ground. It was comical how absent the Jayhawks defense appeared, so I did some investigating after the game to find out what the heck was going on.
Uh-huh.
Needless to say, I caught the team bus leaving Atlanta, and the license plate indicated it was headed back to Auburn, Alabama. That defense has no holes. Absolutely no holes. Speaking of Auburn, I expect their defense to continue its record-setting streak for third down conversions. And guys, I spoke to some fans this week, and they are excited about the night game against the Owls of Florida Atlantic this week so that the Tigers can continue to play their peekaboo defense. I would tell Coach Red Roof that I don't believe
Red Roof.
I would tell him that I don't think it would be wise to do that.
Oh,
Wise
so
out.
clever today.
You are
man.
clever.
So
Hey,
clever,
somebody
Doc.
throw something on him.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Somebody called the fire department. This one's out of control.
STR, baby.
That's right. And speaking of wise, it doesn't take a Vandy scholar to see that the Rebels of Mississippi might be the worst team in the country.
Uh-oh.
I'd expect Oxford to be nutless by the end of the season. Oh, goodness gracious.
Somebody said that the Oxford newspaper headline was, Houston, we have a problem.
Is that right? What
That's what
They got a big one.
And speaking of nuts, that's exactly what it's going to be like in Morgantown as the number 16 West Virginia Hillbillies play host to the number 2 LSU Corn Dogs.
Boy.
Word on the street is that Les Miles has been looking forward to this trip for some time now. So I caught up with Leslie to get his thoughts on the big game, and he told me, and I quote, "The grass may not be greener on the other side in West Virginia, but I hear it is a lot stronger. Can't wait to test that theory out and see how high we can get on the scoreboard." I thought that was funny. Guess it wasn't. The delivery was terrible. The delivery was absolutely terrible. Lou, you're an idiot. You stupid head. You just delivered that like a little 12-year-old boy who never told jokes on anything. That's just it. Good gracious. And speaking of scoreboards, they have one of those at Bryant Dubois Stadium, where the number 3 Alabama Crimson Tide Fabric Softeners will battle the number 13 Arkansas Laserpacks this weekend
That's a big one.
for an early lead in the SEC West Division. Guys, this is going to be a heck of a shootout, but I think it will come down to coaching, where Rick Pitino has the advantage. He's got a standout point guard in Tony Delk and a terrific shooting guard in Antoine Walker. Those sports buffs will know what that means. And I don't see Anthony Grant having an answer for this. Plus, Alabama's defense is vulnerable in the secondary. You can go ahead and write this down, guys. Undersized linebackers will cost Alabama the football game.
You're out of your mind. What?
Yes,
What?
Their linebackers they're just tiny. They're tiny. They're all like I think around 6'10", 6'10", like 415 pounds apiece. They all run about 4.2. And guys, I feel it's gonna be a very long day for the Alabama football team because of that weak defense. And so. And because of that, I'd like to say a few words to get them prepared for this
pep
critical
talks
battle.
for Bama's defense.
This critical battle they'll be fighting tomorrow in T-Town.
Okay, all right. Yes, he'll pop off his water. Get ready for the pep talk.
Men, there are 4 things I love in life. 1, I love myself. 2, I love those who love myself. 3, I love the University of Notre Dame Fighting Irish and thumping Mark May's ear when he isn't looking. And 4th, I love sausage.
Yes.
All 4 of these are great, man. But as the great Luke proverb says, the greatest of these is sausage.
It's what?
It's sausage.
It's what?
It's sausage. Man, I don't care what kind of sausage it is. It could be Vienna, Polish, Italian, bratwurst, kielbasa, smoked, garlic, summer, salami, pepperoni, steamed, fried pokes, brine foods, dreamland.
You ever had Syracuse sausage?
You know, I actually have, Bubba. I just tried some Syracuse sauce the other day, and the Syracuse sauce is much less thing, so just me celebrate.
Well put.
Well said.
It doesn't really matter what kind of sausage it is or how it's cooked. I just know that when my taste buds get more excited than Dabo Swinney after a win over defenseless Tigers when I smell that delectable breakfast meat.
Was Dabo excited that he had finally ended the streak in Death Valley? Could you tell?
No, he didn't seem excited to me at all.
I'd be.
There's no place better. There's no place better to end the streak than here in Death Valley. That's what it sounds like.
Okay, all right.
And you know why, guys? You know why I love sausage so much? Because my intestines love meat that comes from the intestines of a pig.
Yes.
Man, there's some intestinal pig meat out on that field today. Man, I've already purchased Sony's breakfast buffets for each of you. It's meat time. You hungry? Let's go, man.
It's meat time.
So that's your pep talk to the Bama defense facing the Razorbacks. It's meat time.
It's meat time. Let's go enjoy this Sony's buffet breakfast, and let's just eat all kinds of sausage. I'll just getting all kinds of Notre Dame Syracuse sausage up in this month.
Well done, Lou.
Love it, Dr. Lou.
We'll come back.
We'll come back, Joe, and we'll talk about the football records.
Rick and Bubba, Rick and Bubba.
Well, here we go. Dr. Lou talking about the games coming up this weekend. Some of the bigger ones: Oklahoma State at Texas A&M. 7 takes on number 8. That's probably the biggest as far as the ratings are, Lou.
Guys, we got a few big games on the slate this weekend. Speedy and I were
You got some interesting games.
we got a lot of interesting games. First off, just want to say that I'm in first place in our picks.
Sure are.
I'm 19-7. We got Bubba at 16-10, who was picked by Greg last week. Speedy at 16-10. Rick 15-11. What's going on there, Rick?
Well, you know, I follow very few teams, so most of my guesses are just that. They're blind guesses. They're based on no research whatsoever.
You know what? I'm mad at myself. I have a like all fair. Here you go, Rick. All fair. Like I said, hey, Ole Miss is going to get killed by Vandy, and then I pick Ole Miss because I couldn't. And then they get killed by Vandy.
Right.
I mean, what am I doing? That's one right there.
I think you're psychic.
You know, well, no, I was just like, hey, just go with my first thought. So I've already marked all mine.
All right, North Carolina at Georgia Tech. North Carolina still has a lot of good athletes, but
total turmoil though.
Yep.
Total turmoil.
Possible upset. Georgia Tech should win this, but that you got to watch that one there. That one could get a little
I'm
spicy.
gonna say Tech has 6 miles of offense.
Yes.
And they win this game by 314 points.
Well, Lou,
I'm circling Georgia Tech.
Notre
sure.
Dame at Pittsburgh. Boy, that's probably got you there.
I'm gonna pick Mark May
Mark May.
to get slapped in the face by me and my University of Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
You know what? I don't know anything about either team. I know Notre Dame's underperforming. I'm sorry, Lou.
But they came back. That was
They
another
finally-
one I didn't do right. Michigan State and Notre Dame.
they
I thought
won.
Michigan State would beat them.
I did
Yeah,
too.
Notre Dame's got to eventually win one or two. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Notre Dame on that one. What was it? Georgia at Ole Miss.
well, here's one thing we know: one team will win.
Right.
Yes, that is very true. That is
I've got to
very
go
true.
with the Dogs on that one.
I do too. I just think that as much turmoil that is going on at Georgia, there's more going on at Ole Miss. And Arkansas, Alabama. That's to me that game, and Oklahoma State and Texas A&M, Florida State, Clemson, also a good game. That's 3 good ones right there.
Y'all say the Arkansas Alabama game is gonna be a heck of a shootout. Now, I'm gonna go as big shoey Razorbacks to win the game.
You're going with Arkansas
Yeah,
because you coach
Because
there?
I coach there.
Okay.
That's what I have to pick.
I think too much defense in Tuscaloosa.
Bama wins convincingly. Let's go to Oak State, Texas A&M.
I'm gonna pick the Texas A&M future SEC Aggies.
I'm going to pick Oak State in that one.
I'm going with the home team. I think the 12th man will pull them through.
That's a good analysis.
Now this game here, I think could go either way.
Florida State, Clemson. It's Clemson needs some work on their run defense. It's not great. Their offense looked good last week, but they looked good against a bad defense. So
I'm gonna say the Clemson Tigers end up winning this game only because they're coming off a big emotional win, and Florida State's coming off a big emotional loss too.
Confidence does play a big role in it, but I think Florida State may have one or two more athletes that will pull them through in a close one.
Florida State's defense will be the difference in this game. They'll win it.
Could this next one be the upset of the week?
Vanderbilt's undefeated.
Bubba, you make a good point. This is going to be.
You better watch this one.
You're dead on. I think Vanderbilt Fort Tough Commodores are gonna battle the South Carolina Gamecocks real well, but unfortunately I coach there, so South Carolina will win.
If as long as they've got Latimer, I think they'll be able to grind it out and win this. But boy, if I'm Steve Spurrier, this game's worrying me right now.
They also have a good running back called Lattimore.
Yeah, that's who I think.
And he'll do well.
Lattimore is the difference in the game. South Carolina, Florida, Kentucky,
number 22.
Florida.
21.
Florida.
That's Latimer.
Kentucky looks like they're struggling this year. I'll go with Florida.
Yeah, Kentucky seems like they always give Florida trouble when they play in the bluegrass, but I think Florida's got too many athletes.
Hey, Oklahoma is hosting Missouri now.
That's another. Missouri has knocked Oklahoma out of the national playoff picture a couple of times. So.
I'll say I'd believe in that, but I think Oklahoma will win this game up. Missouri winning, Arizona State got beat.
I know that we have been accustomed to Oklahoma underperforming and being overranked. This year, they're the real deal.
Right. I
agree.
They are the real deal.
They are one of the best two teams in the country. There's no doubt.
LSU at West Virginia. I'm telling you, West Virginia can give LSU some fits.
They will. This is going to be a great game. This is going to be a lot better than the LSU Oregon game. You can write that down. But I still think the LSU Bingo Tigers will prevail over the Hillbillies.
Unless West Virginia has found some way that no one else has found to block that defensive front as they come through their 8 deep, throwing people up in the stands. I'm going to go LSU.
Yeah, I do too. The Bengal Tigers will have coal dust on their feet, but I think they'll come out of there with a win.
That's funny.
Those are pretty good. That's just written that one down. I can't use it next week either.
How about this? Boise State once again proving that they have to take on tough teams like Tulsa this week. Toledo last week. I know that was a barn burner.
I'm telling you, these guys. Supposedly they got to face Kansas next week. That's gonna be.
Speedy will have his eyes on.
Boise State. The rest of the year, we'll hear that they played their play-in game to the national championship against Georgia.
Yep.
And everything else. Tulsa has been good at times. I don't think they're very good right now. And Boise will beat them.
Yep, I'm with you.
This is gonna be it. It will be probably one of the closest games that Boise State will play the rest of the year. But I'm still thinking.
I'm for the Blue Ponies.
About 20 points.
USC at Arizona State. I can't figure out what Arizona State, who they really are. One week they look great, next week they look bad. USC's got some problems, but they're still USC.
Yep, I go with the Trojans there.
I'm gonna go with Arizona State. I'm gonna go with Arizona State on that one. And of course we need to end with the biggest game of the week: UAB Blazers versus East Carolina Pirates. And
Yep.
I'm gonna go with UAB Blazers.
You do that every week.
That's right, because I love my UAB Blazers and Coach Neil Callaway. Those guys, I just love them over there. They're just awesome. Polk sausage.
Rick and Bubba.